Salvage gameplay has been in this game for more than a year. There is the Vulture and the Reclaimer, which are the main salvage ships. You can also do some hull scraping with a multi-tool. And of course, different types of missions for this gameplay loop have been available for quite a while. There has also been a special vehicle which we could use to do some of these salvage missions without doing any actual salvaging. Of course, I'm talking here about the tow ship, the big and mighty tractor beam at the back of Argo SRV. A unique ship nonetheless. So wondering, with all of this in mind, we do have certain locations which are also known as reclamation and disposal. Basically a scrapyard. And in the future there might be certain ways we can put to use our salvaged cargo or perhaps repossessed ship, which we can deliver to some of these locations. Now that would be of course a fun start to actually doing some scrapyard work, may it be legal or illegal. But what could be even more interesting is actually using a ship like this instead of a salvaging ship to clear the areas around bunkers which may often be cluttered by ships. Ships left by other players. Either they died in the bunker, left the game, got disconnected, or were plain out destroyed. And of course, even right now, it can somewhat be specialized what we do with ships. We can unlock all of its ports and take away all of its components to be sold separate. But it might not be that profitable, so it might seem interesting and ideal to deliver these ships to some of the scrapyards, and depending on the components the ship has left, or perhaps which you have been able to salvage and repair, give improved pricings, which could be interesting way to do. Now this could be fun in two ways. Yes, you could just deliver plain out salvage or the remains of the disintegrated ship, but you could also deliver modules, components which the ship has in it. At the moment the pricing for components is of course off, and it's not really worth picking all of these ship parts aboard your ship, because it will take away more time than it is actually worth. And of course a fun way to push it even further would be if you could have a certain supply and demand issue going on. Not just with the cargo, the ships that the salvage yard might want, but also the components which we might get from those ships, the weapons. Let's say there is a real need for size 2 power plants of industrial grade. And finding items like these could have a possible finder's fee or increased pricing attached to it when you're selling it. This could also be considered smuggling. Certain weapons might be illegal, you're not allowed to have them, security might come after you. And certain locations like Grim Hex might pay you more for, let's say, rockets, because there is a supply and demand issue. Of course, this could be pushed bigger and wider in many different ways. Not just from the point of scrapyards, but actually from the point of selling items. The future goal, of course, is to have a dynamic, immersive trade supply and demand issue going across the verse where NPCs are filling some of the orders. But from another perspective, there are these illegal locations like Grim Hex. What if we were to divert some of those orders there? It would seem logical that a criminal location, a criminal station, would have some supply issues occasionally. And since it would be considered somewhat of a contraband, some items might have a decent value. Yeah, sure, trade can be trade, but I'm talking here about ship components, ship weapons, rockets, parts, perhaps even salvageable parts which theoretically should adjust the repair price in such a station. They are planning to make it big in many different ways. But the question is, can they make it even more interesting? Ships delivering military goods like armors, weapons, all sorts of things which may not need to be components to ships or just tradable goods or resources. Yes, they are planning to add many different items inside ships which we may intercept or find in the verse. But could it be interesting in a way that I could feel the immersion? Like there is some military scenario going on in one planet, there are supplies moving, I intercept and I actually get some valuable armors for myself for a rainy day. That is what I would like to see. Possibly it will happen because they have showed off quite a lot of different things which we will be able to store different ways on our ships. But the question is, how big will it be from a salvaging point of view, to the cargo, to the components, and all the money we could make off a destroyed ship. And that is what I would like to see, to get a bit of everything from a single ship and to be picked clean by a ship like a vulture, stripped down and eventually turned into dust. Anyway, I've been going on long enough. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.